Hello, furs and furdettes, and we are within the second episode of the Furtalk, where we talk about the weird and tame, the strange and disturbing, and more. I am joined here with the.
He's nervous. So, guys, Furtalk, second episode. We're going into it. Right here with me is, I'm not even the host of this, my bro right here is Cy Arrowman. He is the host of this show. I'm Chad from Comics Are Cool.
Yeah, and I'm
also
trying to
known as
get
Iron Squid. Shout out to Izzy, who did the wonderful, wonderful logo that we have going on here. See, that's how you do an intro. That's how you do an intro, Cy.
I talked over you there. Is that going to be okay?
It's going to be fine, dude. It's a podcast. We're going to do whatever we want.
All right.
So, dude, you're here. You're the furry expert. I'm just on the outside.
I'm not an expert. I'm not in tune as I was with the fur side when I was, in the wee stages of being, a young fur of my hip and cool and happening years.
Wow, that was the whitest thing I've ever heard anybody say.
However, I would like to say, actually, a personal thank you to my good friend, Izzy Husky, who took the liberty to...
I already said that.
Yeah, but she's a great artist. She's my best friend, and, I wanted to just kind of say thank you personally.
Yeah, thanks.
Other than you saying thanks.
well, I'm glad we got thanks for both of us. So
yeah.
That's all that matters right there. So, dude... When it comes to furries and everything, we got an interesting topic. When you were first starting out as a furry, you discovered that animals are attractive. Am I right? Is that how that is?
That depends on how you look at it. I mean, Again, with the whole... Going back to the first episode of recapping, where it's different if you find a real, living, actual... animal attractive versus a cartoon character or like an artwork character and everything like that. That's a little bit different. A lot of people do kind of find that weird.
Really?
If it's an actual, because I wouldn't necessarily say a fox is attractive if I'm at the zoo or anything like that. I'll say it's pretty looking.
Right.
But I'm not going to say... Right. Or I wouldn't say I'm going to put my penis in it.
Right. And now that would be... but that is not what we're talking about, which is a fur crush. That's just creepy bestiality.
It's creepy stuff.
Okay, so it is. So when it comes to a fur crush is you find I guess the best way to define it that I see it as is that you are looking at an animal with human characteristics.
Yeah.
As attractive.
Yeah.
So, yes, they take on the persona, like the face of an animal, but it's the body of a person.
It's the body and the personality of a person that counts, and that's where a lot of people get confused. A lot of people see that as bestiality, but it's not in retrospect.
No, and I don't think so either.
Not only that, but as I said, it's much different to look at, a four-legged animal versus an animal that's standing on two legs. Monkeys are a totally different story, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But... it's different when this animal is like, for example, Lola Bunny. Like,
right.
She's one of Crystal.
She's the first, isn't she? Like, she would be considered technically the first iconic fur crush, right?
Yeah, one's to bring it into the light, along with Minerva Minx from Tiny Toons.
Oh, okay.
The Furball, Furball's love interest is Minerva Minx, the one that he's always chasing after. No, not Furball. The nerdy wolf who turns into the hunk wolf and everything.
Oh, I don't remember. Honestly.
Yeah, okay. It's a very vague underground short that they did with Minerva Mink. She's one of the staples.
Renamon from Digimon.
Renamon from Digimon, which actually, not going to lie, my first fur crush was actually Gatomon and Renamon.
Really?
Yes. She was one of the first, those two were one of the first ones that I looked up porn of. Her, Renamon, and Balto, Alu, and that can go into with you're attracted to a cartoon character, you're not attracted to an actual wolf.
Right, exactly. You are personifying it, and that's what you're attracted to.
Again, you look at, like, for example, Bolt is my number one fur crush.
Right.
I want to, do things to his butthole and I want him to do things to my butthole more than,
I thought you were gonna say Beerus from Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, Beerus is one. I mean, he's the god of destruction. He could be the god of destruction of my asshole. But I mean,
Yep, and there's the joke.
Yeah, there's the joke.
Uh,
But Bolt will always be my number one fur crush because if you look at it,
like Bolt from Disney's Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt
and you
from
don't
Disney's
think that's
Bolt.
weird.
No, because if you really look at it in retrospect, he has a human personality.
But he's still a four-legged animal on his
Yes,
hind legs.
but he acts and talks like a human with human emotions.
Right, and he's not real.
No, exactly. He's not real.
But isn't
like,
he like 4?
I mean, he's a dog. He doesn't really express his age. I mean, he doesn't necessarily, believe it or not, he's actually a miniature white I think he's a miniature white German Shepherd. Is actually what he is.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did some research.
So when it comes to fur crushes and everything, is it okay for? So it's okay just to be attracted to somebody with a human-like characteristics. Now, here's the thing I really wanted to know of is that when do you draw the line of what is considered a furry between traditionalists? Because I love the meme that you posted online.
Yeah,
where it's about like the brave little toaster.
That's the
persona.
radical extremist, and I'm
Right.
on board with that. I think the brave little toaster being a furry, that's 100%.
I classify as the lamp. If I can say that, like the lamp would be my fursona or junksona.
I mean, that's actually cool.
Objectsona.
I mean, I don't really think that falls into the fur fandom, but the fur fandom is not as weird as it is.
Right.
It has its own weird concept and quirk, and I think drawing the line would be somewhere with insects and xenomorphs.
See, I don't think so.
No?
I know, I disagree. And then the reason why is because, one, xenomorphs you're talking about like xenomorphs from Alien,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And insects.
Yeah.
That's, at the same time, though, dude, toaster can be be a persona, but a xenomorph can't? That's already a developed species.
No,
It's not real.
I'm saying that's where anything past there, I think, is going a little bit overboard. Like, as you said...
But the toaster's okay.
No. I'm saying that the xenomorph and insects is like, that's okay, but then going to where you say, hey, my Fursona's a car, like, I mean, you're telling me that, hold on a minute, back up.
Uh-huh.
You said the car is a Fursona.
Right.
But it doesn't have fur. It's not a living thing, but yet...
But the cars were a living thing in Cars.
Oh, okay, but that's I think that's still an object, regardless if it has a human personality. It's not living. There's a huge, dark, deep backstory about it that's actually really creepy.
Now, is it okay to have a crush on Lightning McQueen?
I mean, you can have a crush on whatever the hell you want, but I mean, your fetishes are and your kinks are your own. I mean, if you want to come to me and say my crush is a car, that was what got me into the furry fan, I'm gonna look right at you and be like, but how?
But why?
It's like, I don't know. I just looked up pictures of cars having sex, and it's like, okay, there's two ways that can work.
Right.
One, they're drawing anthro versions of cars, or two, people are just stacking cars on top of each other, like Hot Wheels cars.
Like furniture porn.
Yeah, furniture porn, where they just stack furniture on top of each other that are wearing lingerie. Personally, that's the best porn. I get off of that every day.
Absolutely, 100%. Dude, when I look at a chair and it's wearing a bikini, absolutely.
Oh,
Best fur crush ever. So a fur crush, again, is just something that you project a personification onto something that already has, like, person-like features.
Yeah, exactly.
Renamon, Greymon. Actually, Greymon apparently is very popular.
Greymon is very popular in the fur fandom. Spyro is as well. His girlfriend Cinder. Sonic. Sonic is also
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic has
gotta
his
move
own,
quickly. Gotta go quickly.
Got to tread carefully. Sonic is actually big in the fur fandom. Rouge.
Right,
Amy Rose. Rouge the Bat was actually one of my first ones as well. Bunny Rabbot and Sally Acorn are actually two of the top crushes and everything, along with Crystal from Star Fox.
Right, of course.
A lot of people will say that Maid Marian from Robin Hood and Robin Hood himself and the characters of mainly a lot of Disney.
Of course, because Nala with those eyes is just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
but,
you can Hakuna Matatas. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
I gotta remember that one. Next time I'm wooing my wife, just
get on in there and be like, have her whisper sweet nothings in your ear. And finally, you can get a kuna humana matatas, baby.
Weird. So now, did you know though that Timon and Pumbaa watched Simba and Nala have sex?
You know what?
While singing an Elton John song.
I'm not gonna lie.
You watched them have sex too. You were there.
I've looked up fan fictions. I've looked at pictures of Nala and Simba having sex.
And moving on. So, did I ever tell you the story about when Kit and I looked up dragons having sex with cars?
I didn't know that was a thing, but now I
didn't
do.
know either. Now I do too. So apparently there is an entire furry genre, or whatever you want to call it, of literally dragons having sex with cars.
This is news to me, and personally, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so me and Kit, from Bonitis, if everyone checks out, he does False Start, a very popular comic, which is actually coming to Kickstarter soon. But anyway, moving on. It is getting published as a book by Vivage from the Dave from Dreamkeepers.
Nice.
Yes, it is. And then we will also be doing but this isn't about our shows.
No, this is not, so shut up. We'll get to that later.
So Kit and I were actually sitting, it was when we went up to the up north and everything for the couple of days, Kit and I gotten into like the weirdest porn genres that we ran into. And at one point in time, AJ, I think if I remember correctly, AJ said, "Yeah, have you ever seen dragons fucking cars?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, look that up and see what you get." And I was like, "I kind of don't, but at the same time, though, I'm going to."
I don't want to.
There's
honestly.
There is a red dragon, or it's either a red dragon or a blue dragon, just fucking Lightning McQueen. It's very poorly photoshopped too.
I mean, it's don't really doubt it.
It is the Pixar, like they photoshopped the cover of Cars, and it's just the CGI Lightning McQueen.
Yep.
And there's just a dragon behind it roaring. There's no dick and there's no porn, but that's what that is. There's also the Wii Fit trainer as a dragon having sex with a car. Corey, the Wii Fit trainer is a dragon having sex.
See, the Wii Fit trainer as a dragon just makes me like my penis hard. And that would be something I would look at.
Would it be weird if I told you it was the male one?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how he looks, though. I mean,
he doesn't look good. He looks like the Wii Fit trainer has a dragon fucking a gargoyle.
Oh, okay. So just poorly drawn.
So when it comes to the popular fur crushes, how do you go between choosing what is attractive? I guess if you could say, like in your aspect, what do you look for?
Like my retrospect?
Yeah, like what was your look through? Like what did you say? Hey, this, and this.
I guess I would have to say is how like Disney draws them, or how like people portray the image of the character.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna tell you this. What got me with Bolt is first off he's adorable. I mean, different story. Okay. But Mittens and Bolt, it's the fact that they're cute, the fact that I'm a canine, I'm a toy dog and everything like that.
No, you're a human.
I'm a human, but my persona is toy dog, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a canine for myself, so I just feel myself
more connected with them.
With the canines and everything. Yeah, like I'm not going to say the animation style of Fantastic Mr. Fox. That, to me, is just not attractive at all.
Is that a good movie?
No, it's a phenomenal movie.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a good for the year it came out. It's a great stop motion film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
So I'm not gonna tell you that the characters from Fantastic Mr. Fox are attractive to me. Like, yeah, I would bang that,
right?
Because
it's hideous. It's ugly to you.
The art style to it, it'll be hard for me to see it drawn on paper.
Right, I gotcha. So it's more so of a connection thing than anything else.
Like, I'm going to say Brandy Harrington from Brandy and Mr. Whiskers, if you take a look at her body shape,
right,
seeing her nude and everything, picturing her nude would be...
Who's Brandy and Mr. Whiskers?
Disney show.
Oh,
Disney,
God, that is such an old show.
Hit and miss, yeah. Brandy Harrington's actually one of my other fur crushes, but, like, you look at her body and you don't think that somebody could draw that as nude. Because, But then when you actually look at her, like how people draw her and everything, you see her in a completely different light. So,
Really?
yes, because
And that's his girlfriend, right, in that show?
it hit and miss at the ending, but whether you want to look at it or not.
Okay.
But bottom line is, it's all about how, for me, it's how they portray that character in art form.
Okay.
So, like, another example would be Gromit from Wallace and Gromit. That some people may see that art style as attractive and everything like that, and how Gromit is portrayed, I can't see myself, 'cause even though he's a canine, I can't see myself, looking that up and everything, because it's like, he just doesn't look great to me.
But there is porn of it.
Oh, there's Rule 34, dude. Porn of everything. If it there's so I don't know if you heard about this, but there's been people eating, I guess, those Tide bleach pouch.
Yeah, the Tide little soap pouches.
Yeah.
Capsules.
People have been drawing an anthro character of that.
Of Bleach. Yes, I saw that the other day.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie, they make it look adorable as hell.
Yeah, it was a very good art style.
Yeah, well, not only art style, just like the concept of it is actually adorable.
Yeah,
because it looks like it looks like Togetic.
see, I want to dive into the minds of people who think like this, who say, "What would that look like as a
right?
human? Like, would people find this attractive?" Because I've seen God, what have I seen? I've seen TVs drawn as women.
Yep.
And that's a thing. Is that is that part of the furry genre, or is that an entire...
I mean, again, the fur fandom necessarily...
So if I came dressed as a TV, would that be cool?
It would be considered hilarious, and people would take pictures of you and everything and think that's a great thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like, as I said in the very first episode, where my wife went, for her first year, she cosplayed as Fluttershy. It didn't matter what she was dressed as, the fact that she was dressed up and she was showing her, support. There's people who go to the fur cons that I see dressed up as Ninetales, Naruto Uzumaki, and Twilight Sparkle, Octavia.
Right,
they have fursuits of them and everything. So, I mean, there's nothing necessarily like a wrong thing in the fur fandom. Now, if you tell me that you're attracted to technology and you want to bone technology, that's great. That's your problem. That's your own thing. I mean... I don't know how objects got being attracted to a car or an iPod or anything that got you into the fur fandom, but I mean, super cool. I mean, if you want to draw that kind of stuff as anthro and everything like that, but I mean, it's no different than somebody taking Hatsune Miku. She's a Vocaloid. She's animated and everything like that. I mean, if you look at it, it's no different than taking a computer program of a character and making them attractive, or like the Mozilla Firefox logo, that fox, and making her, because I've seen stuff
that
of
too.
that, and actually I saw there, I had one as my wallpaper, but it was PG,
right?
But you have to look at it at that. I mean, you can make anything human. It's like a Marvel or DC comic. You have those characters that are have those weird and quirky features,
right?
And you're gonna get that. I mean, take a look at some of the weirder Marvel and DC looking characters. I can't really think of them off the top of my head.
Squirrel, Forbush Man.
I mean, but those are human. I'm talking
Chipmunk
about
Kunk.
Chipmunk Kunk.
Best concept ever.
Beck's tuxedo mask knockoff ever. But if you take a look at that, I mean, it's no different than a Transformer. Transformer would be a great example, because you have a car transforming into a robot that would just be like that.
Right.
You're giving something a human characteristic.
Right, and then somebody might find Optimus Prime attractive.
I mean, Rule 34, bro. I've seen it.
I mean, yeah, that is
I've
true.
seen Bender Rodriguez with a penis screwing Layla.
I think we've all seen that.
It was my first time on the internet looking at porn, by the way. That was my first time. I didn't Google that. No, it was just one of those little poorly, not really, trademarked,
the weird
copyrighted
advertisement.
Yeah,
thing.
where for some reason they have really, really big junk and everything. Like Peter Griffith's penis could be like a foot long, and it's like inside Lois and stuff like that.
Yeah, did you know that's actually like a health hazard?
If your penis is 4 foot long, I would hope so.
I mean, there is that guy who's like huge dick is like amazing. Like they has to put a sock around it just to like.
I don't think that's real.
It's a real guy. It's actually, I think it's a tumor.
Well, that's his problem.
So, actually, the biggest thing when it comes to something attractive, because sometimes I do find those types of characters attractive.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, one thing is that I think it's because it does remind me of, that really suave, seducing nature of it. Like Nala's eyes. Like,
Exactly.
in all honesty, like, her eyes are drawn like a female's, and sometimes it could be like, yeah, that looks sexy. And then I realize I'm just like,
That's a lion.
that's a lion.
Exactly.
That is a drawn lion. And that's weird. But why do I feel weird?
That's what I thought when I was young. And
Now, is there an
everything.
age limit though when it comes to that kind of stuff? Like, it's like, oh well, that's a child kind of deal. Like Brandy and Miss Whiskers. Brandy's 17, I think.
It's the thing is that like we don't know Brandy's age,
Right.
So she could be 18 for all we know. She could
Right.
be of it, but I mean, it's all. I guess for my retrospect, it would be like
Perspective kind of thing.
yeah, like you would think that.
You wouldn't draw them as a kid. You would draw them as an adult.
Yes,
kind of ordeal.
like for example, Baby Looney Tunes,
Sure.
Muppet Babies, stuff like that. That to me, you're drawing them as little kids, doing sexual things and stuff like that.
That's creepy.
That to me is creepy. Not saying there isn't that.
Right.
I've seen stuff like that, absolutely, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't get into that. But
Right.
I mean,
But if it was like, one, Miss Piggy, or Piggy,
yeah,
Miss Piggy, when she's a child, she's drawn as an adult, that's
yeah,
different.
that's. I
Because
mean,
one, she's already an adult anyway.
well, naturally, people are going to draw her as an adult because not very many people know Muppet Babies existed.
True.
So I mean, that'll also fall into the baby fur category, which we'll cover that in another time. But like an age limit, yes, there is. To me, at least. I mean, to some other people, there might not be. But to me, you can't tell me that you want to see Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Chipettes, full on naked and doing things, but you don't have the balls to draw them of age. You would rather draw them as, still as their normal age and everything like that.
And that's weird.
That to me is weird. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I mean,
And it probably is frowned upon just in general.
I'm not actually. I mean, because not a lot of artists actually put that kind of stuff out there.
Right.
So I really can't necessarily say.
Maybe it's more of like an unspoken. Like,
It's
thing.
yeah. There's a lot of unspoken things in the fur fandom that there's just some things that would make a lot of people uncomfortable.
Right.
You're looking at No, I lost it. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it just sounds to me like legitimately a fur crush is kind of just like a very normal situation
Yeah,
in the
'cause,
long
like-
run. Because when I guess it would be no different than being attracted to the Black Cat or Harley Quinn.
Absolutely,
Right.
actually, yeah, because they have
It's-
animalistic features.
Well,
And not features, but like a personality and everything like that.
right, but it's like they're still there's human, but if Renamon has the shape of a fox and she's a fox person, it's still a cartoon character. It's still a fictional character.
Yeah, they're not
Absolutely.
real.
They're not real. It's just she's
Yeah.
attractive. Congratulations. She has a very flat chest.
And
but
like, think
whatever.
about this: like when I know people who are actually my friends, people that I've talked to who aren't furries and everything, but they tell me I had a crush on Lola Bunny when I was younger. I had a crush on Maid Mary, and all these people, and it's like, well, that's okay.
Sure, absolutely.
It's no different than having a crush on a human.
Right. It's no crush on having, like Scarlett Johansson or something.
Absolutely.
One, you're never going to meet them. Two, they're a person that exists. Or even having a crush on Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that simple. Like,
Right. It's a crush.
I mean, my wife she's told me that she had a crush on Android 18 and Dragon Ball Z.
Sure, who hasn't? God damn.
And she revealed to me that, hey, she has a crush on Amaterasu Okami. Even,
Yeah, but let's talk about 18 for a minute. I mean,
Yeah,
have you just seen... God damn, her eyes and just her her personality is great. Anyway,
yeah,
back
you'd
to
have to let
Amaterasu.
her step on your testicles.
Yeah, I would let her step on... I would collect my Dragon Balls.
But, so...
All seven of them. It's
The other
growth.
fun thing
Send
to
help.
do is... The one thing that is actually the great thing of all is that you can have a crush on your own Fursona.
Really?
Yes, there's absolutely actually, because there are people, even me personally, who would do things with their Fursonas. They would like to be with them.
But isn't that you?
As I'm going again, recapping from the first episode,
I guess you're attracted to yourself.
That's actually kind of what it shows. It's the fact is that you're looking at yourself in a different limelight on what you could be.
So, like, would you do me?
Yeah, kind of.
I do
thing.
Me.
But, like, another fun thing is that with Kirsten, because she's a Pegasus and everything, my wife, Kirsten Draven Silverwood, is her Fursona name. But I like to picture her whenever we make love or when I think about her as Draven. Because it's like, I not only have a crush on her, I have a crush on her Fursona.
So you have a crush on her fully?
Yeah.
Like just her and all. That's adorable.
And she has a crush on my Fursona as well.
Which is weird.
I mean, not at all. It's the fact is that our Fursonas have their own relationship going on.
So if I have to question my wife's, like, if I developed my Fursona as a car...
Oh my God!
Would she have to?
Enough with the tech. Enough with the tech. An automobile.
I'm just saying. Hang on, hear me out. Okay.
Okay.
If I had to develop myself Fursona as a car, which is a Fursona,
I mean,
she would have to love me for the car that I am.
I mean, personally, I think she would just look at you and think, okay, you're batshit insane. Because, I mean, you just identified yourself as a car. I mean...
Not just any car. A VW Beetle.
That's... You do you. If you want to go out and tell... I mean, she should love you no matter what, regardless of who or what you are, or what you identify as, or what you want to be. But if you want to go ahead and say, my Fursona is a car, I mean... She should love you for that because, you're you. You're still you. You just said, hey, I'm a car. Well, you're a person.
What if I was a nuke?
Well, let's...
And I was just full of explosions.
And
I was just bursting with passion and fury and fiery death.
Giggity. And sadness, but giggity.
Oh, I killed millions of people. Oh.
But I mean,
made myself sad.
I mean, when you jerk off, you kill millions of sperm. So yeah, you could you could be a nuke and kill millions of people. So, and yeah, that's actually what generally a fur crush could be.
Just legitimately a regular crush of something that has a human-like characteristics.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
And it's not about being attracted to an actual animal. It is being attracted to this fictional character that is no different than being attracted to a comic book character.
Exactly.
But not being attracted to, like, the dog next door or anything like that.
So
you're not attracted to your dog sexually?
Absolutely not. That is gross and disturbing, my friend. Not gonna say we haven't had the discussion of if he stood on two legs, was anthro, and had that personality,
Good night, everybody.
Well, it's a little, I mean, we don't know, and I can't necessarily say anything beyond that. Like, you think about it, but I mean, still, in retrospect, that's...
Not what a fur crush is.
Right, that's not what it is.
Right, that's more so the creepy, terrifying, disgusting type stuff.
That's your, as I said, that's your own problems, you deal with that. But
you deal with your own skeletons in a closet.
You deal with your own demons. But anyway, so I think...
We're out of time.
We are actually out of time,
yep.
Yeah.
So
that
guys,
wraps it up.
Keep in mind, too, these podcasts are going to be pretty short. They can go a little bit longer depending on what we're talking about.
Yeah, actually.
But along with that, too, guys, we will be back soon once we get everything up and running. This is episode 2.
Again, thank you, Izzy, for the artwork. And I am Cy Arrowman.
And I am Chad.
And this is
nuclear explosion.
Yes, and this is Furtalk signing out, and see you later.